Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday, the 9th of February. This is Barry Fear here, and my special guest Anita here, and welcome along. Now, we'd like to tell you that this is our second last week together here. Okay, sorry that I have to tell you, but like all good things must come to an end. Here's my special guest to open the show with that.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to meet you. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday.
We met on Australia Day.
We did. I hope you've got some wonderful things in store for the day. And as Barry was just saying, it is the second last show for him at the moment in this time. But I'm sure there'll be much to look forward to in the future.
So, you're probably wondering why I've got cotton wool in my ear. Well, I don't want to tell you it on the show because I'm sure you don't want to hear about it again. But to enlighten your day, okay, we're going to be putting together a selection of shows. Well, my special guest won't be, but I will be. I'll be putting together a selection of shows which I've done with you, and well, presented for you, I should say, and taking you on a trip down memory lane. Now, I'd like to take you back to where it all began. It began on Monday, the 30th of May, at Bray Park. Now, at Bray Park, we were trying to get the internet banking sorted out. That was with Mark and myself. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it, so we had to trek to the bank at Fortitude Valley. And then we checked an hour up to the Story Bridge after doing it. And it was an overcast day when we did it. Now, it's like today, an overcast day. Alright, so I thought I was gonna get rained on my very first episode of, well, it wasn't out and about then, it was episode 17. So to speak, it took us an hour to get up to the bridge because some of Brisbane is very old, okay, and some of it is new. Okay, now, after getting off the Story Bridge, we ended up outside the Story Bridge Hotel, and we got the cab back from there. Now, the problem was the driver went a long way home and turned off the meter and went along the Gateway Bridge. Now, it was a very long way back from Fortitude Valley back to Bray Park, which is where I was at the time. And it was very late when I got back to Bray Park, around about 5 o'clock. And then I didn't realize until later that I owed the driver $15 more. Now I won't go into that. So that was the first day done and dusted. Now the second time, the second now on episode 20 with Mark, I thought that I had been approved for the house in Sydney, but not to be. This was, excuse me, this was all last year, to be in fact, to be exact. And I got very, very frustrated and homesick. And then that was episode 20, and I went to Strathpine. Now, on episode 21, this was where the drama really kicked in. I woke up on the Monday morning, and 10 o'clock in the morning, Mark arrived in. I did the intro just like we're doing now, and I sounded like Barry White, not Barry Beer. I was going, "Good morning, everyone," and that was a sign that something was not quite right. And as the day wore on, or, or went on, I should say, I got worse, not better. I had a sore throat, sore chest, and then I was flagging very, very badly. And the most frustrating time was waiting for a cab to come and take us back to Bray Park. Not very good. So by the time the cab arrived to take us back to Bray Park, I was more or less ready to go to bed, or more ready to go to bed because I was asleep, tilting back in the sun. And as soon as I got back to Bray Park, well, you know what happened? I had the COVID test, and bang, the 2 lines showed up, and it meant that I tested positive to COVID. I wasn't even feeling well the day before I got COVID. I knew straight away that something was not quite right. And I, I thought I was just having a tickle in the throat, but no, it turned into something more sinister than that. So that meant that all outings for me had to be cancelled on that night. So not very good there. So I had to spend 12 days in my room away from everybody. And that was the most frustrating part of all. My isolation ended on June 26th, and I was only allowed to sit at the door with a mask on. So pretty hectic. So June was pretty much a ride up there. Now July came along, it started off okay, but then a tragedy struck me. In case I lost my flatmate, and that was a very emotional time for me, and I was on my own at Bray Park for 2 weeks until somebody else arrived on the 26th of July, and then another couple of months later, 2 more people arrived. I can't tell you exactly what happened. I can't tell you all that happened. Sorry, because it all happened last year. So by the end of, towards the end of 2022, I got the good news to say that I'd been approved for Sydney, a new house, and I have not been happier since. So here we are now, the second month of 2023, and on my final leg of this Queensland journey, which I'll tell you about after. But now, time for a break here. Barry Field and my special guest Anita, stay with us. It's Thursday, the 9th of February. Stay with us, guys. And out. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers out there. 3 minutes to 11 o'clock here. Barry and Anita with you on our second last show together. And today I'd like to talk about, well, we'd like to talk about now how to take care of our feet and why it's important. Okay, firstly, the shoes. Okay, always have good fitting shoes. Okay, like these ones here. Good fitting shoes. Now,
with a good sole on them, which you can't really see very well on the camera, but they have a very good grip on the bottom so they're non-slip.
okay, so always buy good shoes, okay? And good shoes for summer. Now, although summer is about to come to an end, okay, because you know that summer goes until February, and the last day of summer is usually on the 28th of February, unless it is a leap year. Okay, so another important thing is your socks. Have breathable socks.
Absolutely important. You don't want sweaty feet that could cause blisters or tinea. I'm going to try and keep your feet dry in the heat.
Okay, and I've got a pair of sandals here, which I will show you. Now, these are quite good because they can air out you.
Sorry, Barry, don't need to.
Yep, so you can buy them or just the Crocs. Okay, so always wear good quality sandals, okay? So I will pause that for a second or two. Now,
It's always good to wash your hands after you've put your shoes and socks on because you never know where your shoes have stepped in.
that is true. So, always buy good school shoes for your kids as well. Like I said last time, take an existing pair of shoes down to the shoe store, get Macy's or Williams or wherever you bought your kids' school shoes from, okay, and make sure you also start to measure your child's foot as well as your own because you may want to buy a new pair of shoes yourself.
That's right, but you should always be sure that there's just a little bit of room for children's shoes so they can grow during the year. And you get longer wear out of them as well.
Okay, okay, now, the foot in general, okay, always look after them. Clean them well,
That's right.
dry them well.
Yes, I agree. There's special powders out there for anyone that do have trouble with their feet or keeping them dry. There's foot powders you can buy from, your local Woolworths, Coles or pharmacy, and that's always a good idea. And they also help with odour if you struggle with odour, foot odour. It's a big thing because a lot of people have foot odour.
Or get the odorators.
Yeah.
So, now the toenail. Always make sure they are cut the right length, okay?
That's right. And for the young ones that might be watching this video out there, make sure mum and dad help you with that. It's very important.
And never pick at your toenails.
No, because you make them uneven, which could cause ingrown nails, and they're pretty painful.
So use a good clipper and a pair of nail scissors if you've got them.
That's right. And in some instances, it's very important for certain people that have medical needs to have a podiatrist do their feet for reasons of possible infections if nails are cut too short. So it's always a good idea, especially with someone with diabetes or that have chronic issues with their feet. It's always good to ask a specialist first.
So with washing your feet, always get right in between your toe webs, okay? Because that's where the skin gets macerated
Yeah,
and it breaks down.
that's right.
Because you don't want to end up with sores and redness and itchiness.
Exactly right, Barry. And we have to look after our feet because our feet carry us around all day.
So signs of an ingrown toenail, okay? Especially for the younger ones watching this. Okay, an ingrown toenail is when the nail digs in, it grows in instead of up. Okay? And how will you know whether it's ingrown or not? Okay, well, by wearing ill-fitted fitting shoes, okay, that are either too tight, okay, or you've cut the nail too short.
Or there is another third one that it could be. It could be also hereditary. And you may have ongoing ingrown toenails throughout your family history. And you may just be unfortunate enough to have that as well, which is where you seek professional advice.
So never ever pick your toenail.
No.
It is unhygienic. Use a good pair of nail scissors or a clipper and make sure you cut the nails across if you are using scissors, okay? Here's my special guest.
Yes, please, if you're using toenail scissors, be very careful, as well as with clippers as well. We don't want to cut ourselves, which could give us, an infection, or it just hurts in general. So be careful when using them, and cut your toenails evenly as well.
Well, unfortunately, I can't show you my foot.
I don't think I could lift my foot up that far to the camera. I don't have good toenails, Barry. See? But if you need to, you can always Google photos of nicely cut toenails. On the internet, it's a very good way of being able to look at how they, should look when they cut podiatrist sites as well. And they will have photos up on podiatrist sites on the internet.
So it is always very important, like we said, to keep your feet and
You're supposed to call me with someone.
so like we were saying, always look after your feet well, dry them well, and wear good shoes.
That's right. And if you have persistent issues with your feet, then I recommend you seeking professional advice.
And always check between your toes for anything.
That's right, Barry.
Well, now it's time to talk about winding up the show. Like we've said, it is with a heavy heart. Well, for me, it is with a heavy heart that I had to wind up the show after so many months. Now, you and Nathan, after knowing me for a short amount of time, okay, we met on Australian Day, okay, and that it was a hot day there. So how the show began, well, I've already explained to you how it began, where when it when it began and how it began. So guys, it's been a wonderful journey. It really has. I cannot begin to say what a great privilege it has been. And Anita, it's fantastic that we are able to spend the last two Thursdays together.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure and honour to meet you, Barry. Fantastic. And I feel very privileged to have gotten to know you, a little bit about your travels, and I am very excited to see you start the next chapter. I will be watching from afar.
So, I'd like to talk about now on the show how important it is not to become so overwhelmed when you do something new. It may become quite a shock to a lot of people, guys, but they just think, what are we in for, that sort of thing. Okay, so take a few deep breaths, okay, and think, okay, this is not so bad. But in my case, guys, unfortunately, something has not worked out. Okay, a bit of the jigsaw puzzle was either too big or didn't fit the criteria. Okay, so what's the point of continuing on with it if it's not gonna work?
But you know what, Barry? I'm just going to say that you attempted and you came to have an adventure and you've seen a few places, and now you're ready to make it another adventure, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So I have come here. I've given it a good go, and unfortunately it didn't work out. But am I crying over spilt milk or OJ? Nope.
No.
But guys, Anita, what you just said really have made my day. And to all the viewers out there, thank you for having me.
And this isn't the end of Barry's Fears broadcast. It's just going to be a new adventure that we get to go along with Barry in the future. So I am very excited and looking forward to see what the next adventure brings for Barry, as I am sure that all of you out there watching this are too.
So save the tissues, guys, because we've still got another fun week of adventures to bring you before I say toodaloo or ta-ta. Haven't used that for a while, said that for a while, but it's not good vibes. You see me on the show, doing the show, but in a different format, because like guys, I am not gonna leave you alone. I will always be there bringing the show to you, like I was in Sydney before I came here. Okay? So there's no need to worry. You see, when you worry, you make double. So as the song goes, don't worry, be happy. is needed now.
Absolutely. So I just want to touch base with Barry, and I know that he's got quite a few exciting things that he's going to do throughout the next couple of weeks. And I'm sure that as you go along, he will explain those things to you. But it sounds like a lot of fun.
So get on the wagon, guys, and really join in this last bit of adventure with me, because you know the show is not going to end, guys, because you know as soon as I get set back up in Sydney, bang, back on the camera again, and it will be episode 351
That's incredible.
when I get back. So, you know, you guys up in Queensland, and especially those that have worked with me, okay, you've been my rock, my friend, you've got me out of difficult situations, and you've taught me well. And I know this may be an emotional time, but if I don't tell you now, okay, those of you that watch my show, okay, you may be thinking, why didn't I tell you? And if I didn't have a show, guys, I wouldn't be sitting in front of this camera now telling you all this, because if I don't sit here and tell you what's happened or what's not happened, then you won't know what's going on. Like, let me go back to the beginning of May last year. Let's side. Now I was very homesick at that time. I was nearly ready to cry, just like Anita would have done
Absolutely.
if she was away from her family or her friends or those that meant a lot to her. Well, I had a lot of friends. Well, I have a lot of friends that mean a lot to me, and this is no mean feat, guys.
Like I've said to you, Barry, there's no place like home. And that is very understandable. And I think all your viewers out there that are watching you will understand that very much so.
And when you're homesick and away from your friends that you love and someone that you trusted for so many years and all of that, you're just thinking you just want to get home, get to them, cuddle them, reunite with them,
Absolutely.
and here's a quote I'd like to give to you now. Okay, you don't know what you have got until it's gone.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
So grab the opportunity before someone goes takes it off you, because no one else, okay, guys, has the right to control your life except YOU.
That's exactly right, Barry. You know, you have the right to be your own person, as we do have the right to speak and say how we feel. You know, it's very important to live your life the way you decide that you want to live it.
Or how you want to live
That's
it.
exactly right.
So, guys, for those of you watching this video, this show out there today, for goodness sake, don't let people take control of your life and, and force you into something that you don't want to do. Just because you're having an emotional time and being homesick, it does not give anyone the right to tell you what you shouldn't do or what you shouldn't do unless it was really dangerous.
Yeah.
But for general things, if you've ever told someone to, if you've ever told someone, thanks for your opinion, but I don't need it right now.
That's exactly right.
So, guys, you know, it's okay to voice your opinion, but guys, if someone's having a bad day, please don't let their opinion fall on to you. Here's a trick, or here's some advice. Don't take any notice. Just say you've got the content on your own plate to look after. Please let me look after you.
That's right.
Because we only have the one life on this earth that God has given us to live. Don't let other people muck it up for you.
Yes, that's exactly right. Life is very short, so try to enjoy and embrace and do things that you want to do and live to the fullest that you're able to do.
So if someone says to you, you are having dinner at 5 o'clock, just say, no, I'm having mine later. Okay, because just because someone else wants to make the rules, guys, you don't have to get on their wagon.
Just remember that everybody is different. Somebody that might want to eat at 5 o'clock in the afternoon might not necessarily, suit somebody else. So if we can remember that we are all different and we all work differently, then we will be able to not only communicate that in a positive way to another person, but we will also be able to stand up for ourselves in a non-aggressive way.
So, like if there is a problem, address the person. Don't go rah 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 rah. It will make the situation worse. Now you're probably thinking this is the end of the story, don't you? Well, it's not. Would you like to know why I'm going back to Sydney right now? Well, it's because I've had long to my friends down there. Now, when I first got up here, I left all my friends behind, and it was very difficult for me to engage all the new people. And as lovely as they were, some of them took control of me, and I did not appreciate it. Sometimes I found it very difficult to walk away, and sometimes I went splat straight in the middle. And having said that, I finally did something about it because that because I'm thinking why did I not do something about this earlier? And now that I am a 47 year mature wise person, I I was able to um do something about before it boiled over. You know, you leave a kilo of potatoes on the table in the saucepan on the stove, and then the water boils over, and then you think, oh no, the chips, I've let them boil over, you know? And you think, uh-oh, I've left it too late.
Absolutely.
So, our advice to you, as we end the second segment of today's show, don't let other people take control of your life. Please. Everybody is different. Everybody has their own opinion, but it doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. No way.
Absolutely right, Barry. Absolutely.
So don't do things just to suit other people. Alright? Walk away when you are ready to. Another thing we forgot to mention, guys, is compromise. Compromising with the person, okay? Do that. Work out some strategies. Don't just go and then blow up, okay? Because that's not going to work.
Compromising and communication. Open communication is always a good thing.
So guys, the show is not over yet. We've got plenty more to come. Stay with us. Good afternoon, I'm Barry Fair. Welcome back to the Thursday show. This is a story of how I wanted to come up to Queensland and why I wanted to come up to Queensland. And here is how it began. On Friday, the 28th of January 2022, I got the date to move up to Queensland, and it was on the 31st of May. But the original story of me wanting to come up to Queensland began in 2021. Now, I got a letter to say to offer me a position in a Thrive House up here in Queensland. And where was the location? Up at Bray Park, which is north of Brisbane. And I was supposed to move up here on the 23rd of August last year. But due to COVID and the lockdown in New South Wales, I could not do that. So I had to wait for another date to be set, which was very annoying. So I had to wait until January of last year to get a new date set. And like I just said, on the 28th of January, which was a Friday of 2021, 2022, sorry, this is when I got the date. And as the date got closer and the months got the date and day of my movie got closer, there were emotional scenes. There were a lot of emotional scenes in Sydney before I left, and rightly so, because a lot of people knew me in Sydney well before I had planned this, and I had to wait approval from the National Disability Insurance Agency, which is short for NDIS. Anyway, I got approved for the house to move up here to Queensland. So, on the 24th of March, I finished up with my day option, okay, and moved and began to prepare to come up to Queensland. And on Wednesday, the 30th of March, a company called Moving Solutions moved my stuff from the Northern Beaches to Bray Park here in Queensland. And the following day, I flew up to Queensland. Now, halfway during the flight, I had a medical episode, and it was not the way I wanted to end my stay in New South Wales or begin my adventure in Queensland. And of course, with like many new things, it is a bit overwhelming and you get a shock. Just like I did when I first arrived. And when you move somewhere new, like my special guest did, it was a bit of a shock for her, and like with me. And as the months dragged on, did you think I was going to get homesick? You're probably thinking, no, I wasn't. Well, unfortunately for those watching this segment now, well, unfortunately I did get homesick. And being homesick, guys, away from your family and your friends, no, it wasn't the right way to be. and I thought Queensland was going to be the right fit, and unfortunately it wasn't. But of course I mustn't beat myself up about it, because there's no need to. And as my special guest explained earlier, you kick the goal, and kicking the goal, guys, is much better than not kicking it at all. And and in May of last year, I got really frustrated because all I wanted to do was go home back to New South Wales. But unfortunately, I did not have the funding for it or a place to go. And you know what companies are like when there is a situation with money. Money doesn't grow on trees, guys. We wish that it did. And so I had to wait another 6 months or so to get approval and somewhere to stay in Sydney, which I will get to shortly. Now, when May ended, I began my out and about adventures on the iconic Story Bridge. Now, like I said earlier today, it took me an hour with my CP people to get up to the bridge from James Street. And that was a bit of a hike because I had to go to the bank to get something sorted out. And then up to the bridge we went, and it was an overcast day, like it is today, with a bit of rain about. Luckily, it wasn't a 30-degree day or a 35-degree day. You wouldn't want to be walking on the Story Bridge like
In that heat, absolutely not.
no. So after the Story Bridge, we got the cab outside the Story Bridge Hotel, okay? And it was a long trek home in the cab back to Bray Park. We can assure you of that. And when I got back to Bray Park and paid the fare, I suddenly realized the driver that dropped us off knocked on the door and said I owed him $15 more. So it was a very nerve-wracking first day of out and about. Okay, so my community access began on the 30th of May, and what began on the 30th of May is about to draw to a close. Sad for the viewers there. So, when May ended, June came along. It started off okay, but unfortunately, on the 14th of June, okay, I ended up getting COVID and some filming had to be cancelled due to this. I wasn't even well on that the first day. And like what I meant to say, viewers out there, I wasn't even well before I went out. And I should have cancelled the episode and stayed home, but did I do it? No. And I should have. And like I said earlier, it was a long wait for the taxi. Okay, because I was reclining back in my wheelchair, okay, and I was not very well at that time. And when I got home, back to Bray Park, you know what happened? As soon as I had the COVID test, bang, the 2 lines showed up. Very annoying. So no community access as of that Monday night. And my isolation period did not end until Sunday, June 26th. And on Monday, June 27th, I still was upset because I wanted to go home. And that homesickness, viewers out there, it really took a hold of me. Like, got a grip of me. Like, it didn't want to let go of me. And then June ended, and then July started off with a movie and burger day at Bray Park. And like today, it was overcast, raining, and cold too. So it was in the winter time when this happened. And then a week later, something dreadful happened. But I won't tell you about that. But I can tell you I was left alone at Bray Park until some new clients moved in later on that year. I can't go into detail, but towards the end of 2022, I got some excellent news to say that I have been approved for that house in Sydney and the funding, and I have not stopped smiling about it since. And I deserve to be happy. And then finally I got the date to move back to NSW. And the date will be the 20th of February, which is not very long at all. So like I've said, this story ends as it began. Like, I don't like having to tell you sad stories, but believe you and me, sometimes you've just got to do. How would you tell someone that something's about to end and anything?
I would focus on the positives. Barry, personally, I would say that although my time in Queensland has come, that I look forward to the new adventures that await me. And it's been fun sharing these adventures in Queensland, good and bad, with everybody out there.
So like, I would like to say now, before we go to the lunch break, my time has just about arrived here, arrived to leave, and like I've just said, the adventure ends as it began,
Absolutely.
because there's a saying I like to use, guys, and that is, there's always two sides to a story. Like on a cassette, there's side one, you get a list of songs, and then you get side two, another list of songs. So like I've said, like my time here in Queensland wasn't all bad. I had a few forks in the road, but I managed to put some tar fresh bitumen on the road, make them smoother.
You path your own way through those forks.
So, like, if you're ever in a situation, guys, imagine this is your road. Get some fresh bitumen, smooth it out, make the footpaths and go on them. Don't go on the cracked surfaces. They're not worth worrying about. Okay, so if you ever find yourself stuck, or if you think you're gonna go, put your car in reverse and go an alternate route, and you will be as smooth as anything. The road to success is what you need.
Yep.
Okay, and if you fail the first time, don't worry about it, guys.
Try again.
Keep trying until you get it right, and everything will be honky dory. And if you find yourself getting frustrated, pull over to the side of the road and ask yourself, how am I going to overcome this? That's all you have to do, guys. There is nothing wrong with showing emotion.
That's right.
Absolutely nothing wrong. So, like I've said, guys, my time in Queensland is just about to come to an end, because I'm into this last week of my Queensland stay next week, and of course my last week here in Ipswich.
It's very exciting for you, Barry. You have lots of mixed emotions, I am sure, and they are all very much recognised. But everyone wants what's best for you, as you want and should need what is best for you.
So we hope that the next person that you get to replace me, maybe you'd like to do some episodes with them, just like I've done with you. And like I said, I am not going to stop YouTube. I will still do YouTube, but accept in a different format. But this program is not over yet.
Still lots to look forward to.
So we hope that you're enjoying today's program, just like I'm bringing it to you now. The time is coming up to 1 o'clock. This is Barry Fair. Stay with us. You've been listening to the story of Queensland and how it began and how it will end. So stay with me. Anita and I have got 3 hours to bring you. Our last segment of the show today is keeping up fluids during warm weather. Okay, now, why is it important to keep up our fluids? Well, it's so that we don't get dehydrated. And dehydration, guys, is very, very, very serious if not treated.
Absolutely, it can make you feel very unwell, Barry.
And on a hot day, like it's going to be within the next couple of days, you will need this. And to open the last segment of our show and almost the last hour, here's my special guest.
Hello, wonderful people. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and it's been exciting and adventurous, or quiet and calm. No, there's nothing wrong with a quiet day either, is there, Barry?
So, ways of keeping hydrated. Don't just drink tea and coffee, guys, ladies and gentlemen out there. You have to keep hydrated. Keep a water bottle with you at all times.
Absolutely, very important tip.
And if you are not hydrated enough, there is something seriously very wrong. You either need to get some hydrolyte into you, or if that doesn't work, go up and get an IV drip.
And the doctor.
So, dehydration, what causes it? Well, like I've just said, not drinking enough fluid.
Being out too much in the hot sun can cause dehydration.
So, I'm going to give you another demo again. Now look at that. That is gone.
A wonderful job there, Barry, looking after your hydration in your body.
So, dehydration is caused by many things, by not looking at drinking enough. Drinking Coke. Is that going to hydrate you? No, it's not. Because Coke
It's caffeine.
has caffeine like coffee does. I mean, water is the best thing. We know that you don't like it, ladies and gentlemen, but if you don't drink enough water, well, what can happen?
Dehydration. You can feel very unwell.
And dehydration can lead to stress, depression, and many other things. You get muscle cramps.
Mm.
And another way of keeping cool in the summer, which we'll talk about too, okay, don't work out in the garden in ferocious conditions like 35 or 36 degree heat.
That's right. Try to stay in the shade. Slip, slop, slap. Very important. And make sure that you drink plenty of fluids, especially water.
But don't drink beer, tea, or coffee, guys.
And if you don't like water on its own, you could always flavour it with some orange pieces, lemon pieces, lime. It's use your imagination.
Or pineapple pieces.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Baron.
There are lots of ways you can flavor your water, guys. So if you don't like the taste of water on your own, okay, flavor it. And encourage your kids to drink their water too. Encourage them to pack 2 bottles of water a day, especially the 1 liter bottles. Okay, dehydration. Treat it before it gets too out of hand, or if it, before it gets out of hand, I should say, because our bodies are made up of 80% water.
Right. What are some of the real signs you know that you're dehydrated, Harry?
Well, you have a headache,
Mm-hmm.
you have muscle cramps,
Yep.
um,
When you use the toilet, sometimes your urine can be very dark in colour. That's another sign.
or water, as we call it,
Yes,
of the appropriate word.
that's correct. So there's lots of signs to look out for.
And you sweat a lot.
When you're sweating, you're using water out of your body.
So, I mean, you feel moody as well,
Yes.
okay? And you also want to take your anger out on someone,
You also feel fatigued as well.
and you also feel very, very tired. So, what you need to do, guys, is stay somewhere cool, like in an air conditioned room.
And if you're outside, make sure that you have a good big hat on, sunscreen, and a sun safe t-shirt.
Like, you remember the jingle slip, slop, slap from the 80s?
Yeah.
Well, you should do that. So, never ever forget about hydration, guys. Here's my special guest.
If we forget about hydrating our bodies well enough, then we can have a lot of medical health issues. Please make sure that you drink at least 2 1 litre bottles of water a day. And if you don't like water, then flavour it with a dash of cordial or something else that you like.
But don't drink just Coke. It's not good for you. Here's my special guest.
Yes, we don't like to incorporate too many sugary drinks. One, they're not good for you. Two, they don't hydrate you very well, and then they also are bad for your teeth.
So guys, we're gonna take a break so I can do something. Just a moment. Here we are now, back on the show. And this is the second last Thursday show. The hydration is very important.
Yes.
And let's just go over some of the things we talked about. Never forget about dehydration. Keep on top of it. Because if we don't, what can happen is like I said before the break, or like we said before the break, we could have mood swings, lose our temper,
Feeling tired.
you name it, it can happen. So, just going over some of the things we talked about with dehydration. Always have a bottle handy, a refillable bottle, which you can refill again and again and again. This is very important.
Yes.
Okay, so with the warmer weather still upon us, guys, never ever forget your dehydration. And at night, before you go to bed, hydrate.
Have a big glass of water.
And a huge glass of water. Okay, because hydration, like we've said, is very important. So please look after your hydration. Take care of it, because if you're out in that sun, guys, and you haven't hydrated, this is serious. Here's my special guest.
Yes, as Barry was saying, it's very important to hydrate yourselves. Sometimes set a timer. If you know that you're not real great with drinking liquids or, keeping up your fluids and water intake, set a timer if you can. Every hour have a glass of water to keep those fluids going into your system. And take notice if you are using the toilet enough, and if you're not, then maybe you need to drink a little bit more. There's lots of signs out there to show you whether you're hydrated enough or not.
So, write down in a diary or in a notebook, guys, how much you drunk and how much you need to drink. Keep track of it. Here's my operator.
Yes, and as much as it's nice to have certain fluidy treats, chocolate milk, sometimes a Coke, sometimes you might want cordial. Those things aren't necessarily good for you, nor will they hydrate you. So again, the importance of you drinking water, even if it needs to be flavoured with a piece of citrus fruit that you might enjoy, it's important to do.
So it is important to drink. Okay, so please do it. We're not telling you how to look after your body. We're just suggesting
And advising.
and advising, because the last thing you want to have happen, guys, is really serious dehydration and, you know, ending up on either drips
Hospitalisation.
and hospitalization, because emergency departments, guys, everywhere are chock full at the moment. So if you can avoid the hospitals, great. But if you can't, by all means, get to a doctor or get someone to drive you.
Yep, exactly right, Barry. If you're worried about your health, you need to seek professional medical advice.
But if you are in doubt, okay, and need real serious help, call 000. Is my special guest.
And if you're also not sure about something and you don't think it's an emergency, but you're concerned about your health or somebody else's in this heat, there's always 13 Health. That is the number to dial if you want to talk to a registered nurse, and they will be able to guide you in the right direction.
And only keep 000 for emergencies, guys.
That's right.
We will remind you of at the closure of this program today.
Yep.
The only reason I need to use 000 is because transport is very limited for me here at this moment. Okay, so just going over one more time about hydration. Okay, please look after it, guys, and take care of it. Encourage your kids to drink too, not just the adults, because you need to hydrate well. And with the last month of summer in full swing now, there is no excuse not to hydrate yourself. And if you've got any strenuous jobs to do it in the corners of the day. As soon as
Early morning or late afternoon.
Early morning or late afternoon. But guys, don't do it like when it's like 12 o'clock in the day, when it's really hot and you're sweating all over. So after you've done your jobs, have a nice cool shower to hydrate your body as well and cool yourself off. And have cool foods too, which we'll talk about now. It is okay to have a treat every now and again with food, but remember, eat healthy foods like sandwiches, wraps, rolls. There are plenty of foods that are wholesome today, like a quick salad, which you don't have to cook. Just whack some lettuce in, beetroot, pineapple, asparagus, corn kernels if you like, some pineapple, you name it. And a salad is a nice, refreshing lunch to have on a real hot day. Here's my special guest.
Definitely right there, Barry. On hot days, salad is great for dinner or lunch. And other things that you might like to consider that are easy. Sushi is another thing that we were just discussing earlier, Barry, between you and I. And if you like sushi, obviously, and just making sure that you stay out of the heats and even preparing meals in the cooler time of the day. So you've got some meal preparation happening and it's done for the rest of the week is a good idea as well.
Yeah, so as we close the show or head into the closing stages of our show, please take on board what Anita and I have said, and now here's the closing segment. Well, now just going over um, segment two, buying good shoes is really important, and looking after our feet. Okay, we showed you a pair of sandals earlier on. Okay, so please look after yourself. Okay, don't neglect it. I finally got it out. Okay, buy a good pair of shoes. Um, Something like my special guest has got. Something that's got a non-slip grip on the back,
Yeah.
which we showed you earlier. Okay, and I'll just get my offside to get my pair of sandals out again, so I can just show you. Okay, you can buy a pair of those at the shoe shop. Okay, get a good quality pair. Alright, so looking after our health is very important, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll just let my outsider have some more of the stuff again. So, another thing we would like to close the show with is hand sanitizing. Okay, this is what you are seeing on your screen there. There it is. Pick up a bottle of that at your supermarket or pharmacy. Keep a pump pack around the house so that you can refill it. Okay? Because hand sanitizing is very, very important. We don't know where our hands have been. Okay, so that really is it in a nutshell. So, just go, excuse me, just going over what I said about Brisbane, my future with Queensland. Okay, I really have enjoyed the time here, okay, and it doesn't mean that it was all negative, because it wasn't. And like I said in the Queensland story before the break, you know, there have been some positive moments about this. And like I said, if you've got, or what I forgot to mention, guys, if you have someone in a wheelchair who likes to do YouTube videos, perhaps they would like to take some of the ideas away that I've talked about today on the show. Get a pen and paper. Suggest what you would like to talk about. Discuss what you'd like to talk about. Okay? Do some episodes, just like I've been doing up here in Queensland. And that, my friends, is today's show. Thank you for your company today. And the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, you know what it is. 000. Please do not call that number for stupid, trivial issues, please. 000 is not a number to have a chit chat with the operators. They are there to get you the appropriate service that you need 24 hours a day. Don't prank them with silly issues. If you've got minor medical issues, please just go to your doctor. And here's my special guest to close the last Thursday show with that.
Hi guys, it's been a great day hanging out with you and with Barry. Just to extend what Barry was saying, it's very important to keep those 000 phone lines clear and free for real emergencies. So if it's something that's going on in your life or your health, and you think that you can wait an extra day to go to a doctor and see them, please do. Only call 000 in an extreme emergency.
But don't prank them for silly issues, like you need your sushi delivered, or you need a lift to a doctor.
That's correct. I agree with you, Barry. Don't prank them. Don't call them unnecessarily. If you're not sure of something, 13 Health, guys. You can call that number and they will give you some suggestions and advice from trained medical nurses, who then will direct you to where you need to be to keep you safe and healthy.
So, next Thursday will be our last show. So join us then. Until next Thursday, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.